What is the absolute craziest thing you've ever done for money? For me, it started with a Craigslist ad and a desperation to pay rent. Sperm donation pays $150 a pop. I did the math. Fast cash, zero overhead. I honestly thought it would be a wham bam thank you ma'am situation. You show up, you do your business, you grab your check. Spoiler alert, it is absolutely nothing like that. The intake appointment was a marathon. The first visit lasted 3 hours. They didn't just ask for a medical history. They treated me like a lab rat. They took about 7 vials of blood. They measured me, weighed me, and checked my blood pressure. Then came the physical. The nurse checked everything. And when I say everything, I mean she was measuring parts of my anatomy I didn't even know had standard metrics. She was scribbling on her clipboard with the intensity of a mechanic appraising a used Honda Civic. Suddenly, she drops the news. You have exceptional motility and concentration. I had no idea what she was talking about until she pointed to a chart on the wall. It turns out my sperm count is in the top 2% of all their donors. She showed me the number, 280 million per milliliter. For context, normal is around 15 million. So there I am, sitting in a crinkly paper gown, legs dangling, finding out I am basically walking around with industrial-grade premium reproductive material. The death clause and the room. After the ego boost, I had to sign a mountain of paperwork. It was standard legal jargon until I got to the death clause. It literally asked what to do with my samples if I died before they were used. The options were, destroy them, donate them to science, bequeath them to a specific person. That last one sent me into a spiral. Is there really a demographic of people out there clamoring for the frozen DNA of a deceased stranger? Why is that even a checkbox? But the donation room, let's call it the masturbatorium, was where things got truly weird. They walked me down a long hallway, handed me a key, and pointed to room 3. The door had 5 distinct locks. Overkill much? Inside, the centerpiece was a gray vinyl recliner that was somehow sticky before I even touched it. It's that cheap vinyl that bonds to your skin the second you sit down. The lighting was grim, just one sad little desk lamp in the corner, no overhead lights. Under the sink, I found the stash, a cabinet absolutely overflowing with lube. At least 30 bottles of different brands and viscosities, refilled after every patient. Next to it was a red emergency button on the wall. The sign read, press if you need more supplies. I stared at it for a full minute. Is someone finishing an entire bottle in one sitting? What kind of endurance marathons are happening in room 3? Then there was the entertainment system. They went all out. A massive 50-inch TV mounted on the wall with surround sound speakers in all 4 corners. It was like an IMAX for one. The remote looked like it belonged on the Space Shuttle 40 buttons, none of them labeled. It took me 15 minutes just to figure out how to turn the TV on. Once I got into the media library, I realized the selection was unexpected. Hundreds of videos categorized, but about 80% of the content was gay porn. No judgment, just not what I needed to get the job done. It took another 10 minutes to find something that worked for me. The acoustics of regret. The whole time, I was hyper-aware of the world outside. The walls were paper-thin. I could hear everything. Conversations in the hallway, footsteps, the receptionist booking appointments, which meant they could hear the premium surround sound I was using to drown them out. After the deed was done, I went to the sink to clean up. No paper towels. Just one of those high-velocity hand dryers that sounds like a jet turbine taking off. So much for discretion. WHRRRRRRRR. Nothing announces I just finished, like a 100-decibel air blower. The walk of shame. Then came the worst part. The handover. I assumed there would be a discreet drop box or a 2-way window. Nope, you have to hand-deliver your sample to the nurse's station. To get there, you have to walk down a hallway that runs directly past the main waiting room. The walls are glass. It's Tuesday, 2 p.m. I am walking past 3 nice families with children, clutching a warm cup with my name written on it in Sharpie. An older lady looked up from her magazine, locked eyes with me, and gave me a look that said, I know exactly what is in that cup. A kid, maybe 7 years old, pointed at the cup and asked his mom what it was. I just wanted to vanish. I reached the lab. The nurse took the cup like she was accepting a coffee order. Temperature is good, thanks. See you next week. Next week. That's when the reality hit me. I had signed a contract. 2 visits a week. For 6 months. This was my new routine. Parading in front of innocent families with a cup of genetic material twice a week. The second visit was worse. The same old lady was there. This time she nodded at me. Like we were coworkers. The kid recognized me too. By the 5th visit, the receptionist knew me by name. Hey, room 3 is open for you, champ. Suddenly, the $150 didn't feel like easy money. It felt like hazard pay for carrying the title of the sperm guy. Between the sticky chair, the complicit smile of the grandma in the waiting room, and the walk of shame, my dignity was taking a beating. But rent is expensive. So twice a week there I was, crossing the hallway of shame, clutching my cup, and pretending this was the most normal job in the world.